Mr. Chairman, but thank you very much.
Mr. Farage, you can blame it on me. One more. Oh, you're avoiding me.
Mr. Farage, thank you. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from New York, Mr. Goldman.
I'm sorry to see you leave, Mr. Farage. I actually had much that we agree upon and was looking forward to your testimony, because it's very nice and refreshing to hear from my GOP colleagues that they are worried about authoritarianism. Mr. Biggs and Mr. McClintock both said that earlier. And I imagine, given what's going on in this country, when the president is sending the military into American cities, is weaponizing the Department of Justice to investigate his enemies, requiring loyalty oaths from all federal workers at risk of otherwise being fired, the list goes on and on. It is reassuring to hear that the Republicans, who have remained stone silent about Trump's authoritarian takeover of our government here, are actually concerned about authoritarianism. And I found it really heartening that Mr. Van Drew said, and I quote, "If we lose our First Amendment rights, we lose everything." Now, in his opening statement, Mr. Farage said, quote, "When the government starts regulating speech, it is rarely those that agree with the government who find themselves in court." And Mr. Farage, I'll ask you the question, is that similar to your concern about suppressing speech that disagrees with the government? Oh, Mr. Farage has left. Well, Mr. Raskin, I will then maybe just you can stand in for Mr. Farage for a minute here. I know you are a champion of free speech. I'm not sure it's the same free speech that Mr. Farage is supporting. But if this concern about the government regulating speech is because it is rarely those that agree with the government who find themselves in court, then you would think that Mr. Farage and all of our Republican colleagues would be very, very concerned if an administration here in the United States was investigating criminally individuals who made the colossal mistake of speaking out against the president. That would be a clear violation of Mr. Farage's principle. Is that right?
He was talking about the importance of political dissent. And this is a test, Mr. Goldman, I think, of our constitutional patriotism. To what extent are we willing to speak up for people who are the targets of government repression, even if we don't agree with what they're saying? A great example of that is our colleague, Congresswoman MacIver from New Jersey. I would hope that in a comparable circumstance, I would stand up for a Republican colleague who tries to exercise his or her oversight rights by going to a government facility on a prearranged visit and then gets caught up in the chaos and confusion outside, and they want to send her to jail for 30 years. I did stand up for our colleague from New York, I'm spacing his name.
Mr. Santos.
Mr. Santos,
friend.
Because they wanted to expel him without his having a conviction or an ethics process, and I said that wasn't fair. So I think I passed a micro test there. I would hope some of our colleagues would say, no, don't prosecute our colleagues just for doing their jobs.
Well, let's talk about that, because that is exactly what this Department of Justice is doing. Recently, we heard publicly, which would ordinarily never happen, the Department of Justice does not say publicly, they don't confirm that there are any investigations of anyone until there's an indictment, because that person or those individuals can't defend themselves. But now we know that Senator Adam Schiff, who led the first impeachment of Donald Trump, is under investigation by the Department of Justice. New York State Attorney General Letitia James, who filed a lawsuit against Donald Trump and his business, she is now under investigation. Miles Taylor, who literally did the only thing that he did was write an op-ed and a book criticizing the President of the United States. He is under criminal investigation. Chris Krebs, whose offense, I think, was to say that the 2020 election was the most secure ever, he is under investigation. John Bolton, who has criticized the president, gets his house raided. Lisa Cook, the Fed governor, is now under investigation for mortgage fraud, I guess because she doesn't want to lower rates. The degree to which this government is suppressing speech that simply opposes the president's views should make Mr. Farage and every single one of my Republican colleagues speak out in favor of the First Amendment, and yet we have heard nothing. There is still time, my friends, and I yield back.
Thank you, sir.